Today, he joins us to discuss how close to the top of the mountain we are and what the European landscape will look like when we do get there. Please get ready to give a big Web Summit welcome to Chief Negotiator of Brexit, Michel Barnier.
In a few words, is it a workable solution to avoid a hard border? What we have agreed at negotiators' level is fair and balanced. Together with the UK, we have achieved decisive progress. The UK wants to continue benefiting from our free trade agreements. How do we solve this issue? And this work will be intense and ensure no hard border on the island of Ireland. Any agreement must work for everyone. But our work is not finished. First, thank you, Paddy, and all the best for your voice. What a pleasure to be with all of you this morning. It's the very first time in my life I am on the same stage as Vladimir Klitschko, Eric Cantona, and Ronaldinho. It is a privilege. It could be also a risk. Ladies and gentlemen, you are all here to discuss and shape our future. The future of our lives and the future of our continent. And this future will be shaped by multiple trends, one of which is this extraordinary and complex negotiation I have the honor to conduct on the behalf of the European Union for the last 3 years. Because Brexit is not only about a divorce between the EU and the UK, with so many consequences, so many underestimated consequences. It's also about building a new partnership with the UK, a new partnership that benefits citizens and your companies working in and with the UK. A new partnership that fosters stability on our continent. Here, let me share a personal story with you. I spent 10 years of my life, a long time ago, organizing the Winter Olympics in Albertville, in my home region of Savoy, in the Alps, climbing and mountain. 10 years of work for 16 days. That's a good training for Brexit. But this experience had taught me one thing. Solving any problem in your personal life or in your professional life becomes a lot easier once you put it into perspective, once you look beyond the immediate horizon. And that's what I have been doing since the very first day of my current mission on Brexit. So, what is our perspective beyond Brexit? First, peace on the island of Ireland. That you, Paddy, second, protecting our single market, which is our biggest asset in today's world. The reason for which we are respected in Beijing or in Washington. An ecosystem on which your economic success is built, an ecosystem that goes far beyond a free trade area. And third, building a future relationship together with the UK. Not against the UK, not without the UK. And I trust the UK will choose the same path after its general election on 12th of December. Let me say a few words about the divorce, about the past before moving to the future. On the 17th of October, we reached an agreement with Boris Johnson and the UK government. The same day, the 27 EU leaders endorsed this agreement. Once ratified, it will bring certainty to all the uncertainty created by Brexit, as any divorce created uncertainty. Certainty for European citizens in the UK and British nationals in the EU, 4.5 million people. Citizens have always been our priority, and we agreed to protect their rights for life. Certainty for all those who benefit from projects funded by the EU budget, local and national authorities, farmers, startups, or civil society actors in the 27 member states and in the UK. We agreed that the financial commitments taken at 28 will be honored at 28. Certainty for all those people and businesses concerned by the many other separation topics. Just one example. If you live in the EU and you have purchased something on a UK website, you probably have exchanged your personal data with UK businesses. What happens to your personal data in the UK after Brexit? Why will this data still be protected by strict EU rules? In this withdrawal agreement, we agreed that for the processing of this data, the UK will ensure a level of protection equivalent to that under EU law. And finally, our agreement includes a transition period, which was respected by the British government. It will give businesses time to adapt until the end of 2020, and perhaps 1 or 2 years more, up until the end of 2022, in case of a joint agreement between the UK and the EU. Ladies and gentlemen, in this withdrawal agreement, we also had to bring certainty to Ireland and Northern Ireland. Let me be frank. Until now, no one has ever managed to explain to me the added value of Brexit. No one. And not even Nigel Farage. And the place, ladies and gentlemen, where Brexit creates the greatest risks and problems is the island of Ireland. Here, we are not only speaking about economy and trade. We are talking about people. What is at stake is peace and stability. And peace is still recent in this region. It came back in 1998 with the Good Friday Belfast Agreement based on the absence of an hard border on the island. So we had to, and we did agree on a legally operative solution to reconcile 4 objectives. No hard border between South and North in Ireland, preserving the whole island economy. 3, protecting the integrity of the EU 27 single market, your single market, ensuring that Northern Ireland remains in the UK's customs territory, which was extremely important to Prime Minister Boris Johnson. And to be frank, discussions were at times difficult. At the end, we spent no less than 5 days and 5 nights in the same negotiating room. But together, we have delivered. Together, we found a solution to the unique situation on the island of Ireland, a solution that protects businesses and consumers in the EU single market, and a solution that also protects the constitutional integrity of the UK. Ladies and gentlemen, the EU and the UK have reached an agreement, and for the first time ever, the House of Commons has approved the deal 2 weeks ago. But it has not yet completed its ratification, so the UK asked us for more time to ratify this agreement and also more time to organize general elections. And the EU 27 agreed to give more time until end of January next year for the UK to do so. Brexit is a school of patience. Brexit is a school of tenacity. And even when our deal will be ratified, that will not be the end of the story. We need to keep in mind that the orderly withdrawal is a step, a necessary step. It is not a destination. We have a second, much more task to rebuild after the UK withdrawal, a new partnership with the UK, which will remain, in any case, our friend, our ally, and our partner. We already agreed on the framework of this new partnership, and we want it to be ambitious for trade in goods, for services and investment, for data protection, for transport and energy, for fisheries, for judicial and police cooperation in criminal matters, for foreign policy, security and defense, and so many other areas. Let me say a few words on the two pillars of this future relationship: the economic partnership and the strategic partnership. On the first one, our economic and trading partnership, I know that this negotiation will be difficult and demanding. For one reason, the time will be extremely short, 11 months, if the UK withdrawal is effective on the end of January next year, and if the transition period ends as currently foreseen at the end of 2020. And because our and the UK starting points are not necessarily the same, the UK might want to be able to diverge from EU rules in a peak and mixed approach by economic sector. And on our side, the EU will require strong guarantees for level playing field across the board. There will be more economic competition, okay, between the EU and the UK, and that is normal. But the EU will not tolerate unfair competitive advantage. Boris Johnson said he wants a best-in-class free trade agreement. What does best mean? For us, it means a free trade agreement whose aim is not only economic and financial profit, with zero tariffs and zero quotas, but which is also in the interest of the people on their environment and their living standards. That is why the level of ambition of our future free trade agreement will be commensurate with the level playing field we achieve on social and environmental rights, state aid, and tax matters. In other words, the UK should not think that zero tariff, zero quotas will be enough. The EU will insist on zero tariff, zero quotas, zero dumping. Summer 2020, in 8 months, will already be a moment of truth on how far we have come and whether an extension of the transition will be needed. Ladies and gentlemen, the second pillar of this future relationship, equally important, concerns our internal and external security and our foreign policy. Also in this field, our cooperation will be proportionate to the level of commitment of the UK alongside the EU. But it will be unprecedented in scope, in depth. The UK said that it will remain committed to the security of Europe, and when vital UK interest is at stake, there will be always solidarity between us. As part of our defense cooperation, one example is the need to cooperate against new threats, in particular for our cyber security. Our future partnership should include the exchange of information on cyber incidents, attackers' techniques, and origin threats analysis and best practices, including when those target the correct functioning of democratic systems. And crucially, we need to have a capacity to respond jointly to such attacks. Finally, as a condition of this economic and security partnership, we need to agree on a framework for data protection. In the EU, we have a tool, the so-called adequacy decisions, to facilitate exchange of data with jurisdictions with an adequate level of protection. The EU is ready to consider the conditions of an adequacy decision on the UK as soon as possible after the UK withdrawal on the basis of reciprocity. Ladies and gentlemen, in the late 18th century England, James Watt developed the steam engine. The dynamic is created, soon spread to Belgium, France, and Germany, and Europe became the cradle of the first industrial revolution. Today, in the 21st century, the US and China are in the lead. If we in Europe do not act now, the future of our industry, jobs, personal data, and ethical standards will be made in Washington and in Beijing. This is all the more true, as you all know much better than me, as the new fourth industrial revolution is coming with the Internet of Things, robotics, artificial intelligence, and biotechnology. And my conviction is that Europe can be at its center again with its excellent university, top quality researchers, and innovative companies, as evidenced at this Web Summit in Lisbon. But to reap the full benefits, we need to work together. We need to work together at 27. The day after tomorrow, Commissioners Margrethe Vestager, Vera Jourova, Carlos Moedas will be here to give you some insight on what the EU does and what the EU will do with the new Commission to boost research while applying competition rules. This is how we would draw the lesson of the Brexit, by building a stronger Europe, fostering growth and innovation for the benefit of European citizens and companies. And we also need the 27 to continue working with the UK. The UK can take part in and contribute to the EU programs that are open to third countries, in particular for cooperation on science, innovation, Erasmus, or cooperation between universities, and by building an ambitious partnership with this country. We, in the European Commission will be ready to start the negotiation as soon as the UK ratifies the withdrawal agreement. We will do it according to the mandate given by the EU 27 member states, in close coordination with the European Parliament and with the national parliaments. And we will do so respectfully towards the UK in full transparency and dialogue. Let me finally be clear on one point. Ladies and gentlemen, as long as we have not completed both negotiations with the UK, the withdrawal agreement and the future relation, the risk of a cliff edge remains. And we should all remain vigilant. We should all remain vigilant and prepared to that possible outcome. But if we manage to complete this negotiation in the short time we have, then I believe that future generation will look at this negotiation in a more positive way or in a less negative way. They might agree with me that Brexit is lose-lose, definitively, but hopefully they might also say, in this difficult context, we managed to preserve the essential friendship with UK, cooperation with UK, and joint ambition for a better future. Thank you very much for your attention.